Okay, here we are. I got a special guest star here in the Snack Attack studio. We got, longtime friend Jeff Lisandro here, 6-time bracelet winner, almost $6 million in earnings. Welcome to the podcast today, brother.
Nice to see you, Clyde.
It's always great to see you. I kind of miss you during the World Series because you always got that nice smile going. Go ahead, show them again. There you go. Show the fans that smile. There you go. Hey, tell everybody about your career so far. I mean, you've been playing poker for a long time. You're considered one of the best stud players in the world. Let them know.
Yeah, I've been playing poker since I was 18.
18?
Yeah, even before then, but for serious money since I was 18 years old. I was really successful in my earlier days. I won an awful lot of money. A lot of properties I invested in, and I've had a very interesting career over three continents.
Yeah,
I played a lot in Europe in my 30s, mid-90s, and came to Vegas the first time, early 90s. I loved it. I loved Vegas in the 90s. Vegas in the 90s was a heaven for a poker player. And it was just a place to be. I mean, the Horseshoe downtown, the Mirage. It was a great thing. And even on the California side, the Commerce and the Bike in those days. Hollywood Park just opened up. That was all the early 90s, and they were great times to be a professional poker player. And then when I went to Europe, all the poker rooms started opening up in Vienna.
Okay.
And Paris opened up. Ireland started having some tournaments. Slovenia opened up. It was great times.
Well, all over the world,
whenever these poker rooms opened up, I was like the first one in the door. I loved to see a new city and new culture and all that. And, of course, the poker action when they just opened up was really phenomenal. We had some great days. And I wrote about them. I kept notes and I wrote about some of these places.
Nice.
And virtually, I'm trying to slow my poker career down a bit. It's a lot harder to be a poker pro these days than what it was in my days.
Okay, what's the difference out there? What would you say?
What's the difference? The difference was there was a lot more amateurs with a lot more money. So there was guys who played poker 10, 20 times a year, and they would lose massive amounts when they did play, and they didn't really care. So I was one of the fortunate players to be able to play with them, and that was the case all over the world. But after sort of like poker got onto the computer screens and people played online, I think the edge, the amateurs caught up quick.
Yeah.
They had, they were, if they were a regular poker player, they were virtually, better than average. So that, your edge over those guys that played big stakes was very small.
Well, now today, there's so many books and videos. It's harder to win now. More players are playing more. There's not much dead money really now because there's so much stuff out there today.
There's not much dead money. A lot of pro poker players went broke because they just couldn't keep up, maintain the standards needed to keep on winning.
Yeah.
So, and like if you look at poker tournaments, and you're looking at how much money comes out of the prize pools, we're up to 50% nearly for some countries, who pay the taxes.
Ooh.
So you got
God dang. Wow.
you got some state taxes. You got the casinos wax probably 12% in some cases, and then you got the dealers. When I first started playing poker in the 90s, you were virtually only 5% came out of the prize pools.
Ball. Yeah.
Now it's just keeps going higher.
Yeah, you got to get like top 15% now to cash, and it's so top heavy. You almost have to get top 3 to really cover. You know, if you're going to play a lot of tournaments, you need to win one to cover your next 10 buy-ins. You know,
that's right. Yeah, if you don't get a top 3 result at the World Series, you're definitely going to finish behind.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to get a top 3 result. There's 1,000 people in the, you're at the initial start. So, yeah, it's tough. Now we're looking at all the taxes. I mean, it's a tough world.
Yeah, the taxes are ridiculous.
So a lot of people have dropped off.
A lot of
players have dropped off just because you got to get a result. You can't go 2-3 years without a result.
I got second in a WP tournament for $42,500. I got taxed $8,000. Yeah. That's ridiculous. To me, that's for crazy.
Yeah, but then they also took another $8,000 out of the prize pool.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
Dealer, casino.
Right. It's crazy. So you're
a
forced to win to really get good profit. I mean, don't get me wrong. You buy in for $1,000, you win $2,000. You're okay with that. But if you buy in for multiple $5,000 or $10,000 tournaments and don't cash, woof! All of a sudden you're playing for lower stakes because you just can't keep up with the.
You can't.
You just can't.
So I stick to the cash games mainly the last 5 years. And I grind, but I'm not. I'm getting consistent sort of results, and if you put enough hours in on the cash games, I think you can still do all right. If you can play, I mean, a lot of these cash games now are privately run.
Yeah,
the poker room, the management, I don't think they're doing the right thing by the players. They should be controlling all that.
Yeah, we have people rent the room out, invite who they want.
Right, and of course, guys like me are way on the bottom of the list. The first people that they want to play with are losers.
Yeah,
but that's that's the way it's gone. So now I can't even. There might be a good game advertised somewhere in the world, but if they know you've got a bit of a name and you've done well in tournaments, they might not even let you play.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to mention names, but I know there's several players that I say, "Hey, how come I never do it to you?" Well, I'm never invited.
Right.
That's what they tell me. So.
Yeah, it's a shame. I did have my in the late 90s and late 80s. I ran poker rooms, and I was always every customer was welcome. You needed, sometimes my business was all pros. Sometimes all the pros wanted to play against each other, and I'd accommodate them. Then when I was in Russia and I actually started a poker room there in the late 90s, and there's a few pros turn up. They're all welcome to play. I know they're going to win, but that's that's life. You can't run a poker room and not let take it out on the pros who are trying to make $1.
I remember you told me, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I went into the World Series, and you were mentioning about how you first got playing inside Bobby's room.
Oh, yeah.
Tell the fans the story about that.
Oh, yeah. So, when I finished in Russia, I had quite a lot of money, and I wanted to play some high-stakes poker. So I get to Bobby's room in the Villaggio, and the 5 people over the table was Doyle, Chip, Bobby Baldwin, Johnny Chan. Who else? We have the girl. What's her name? Jennifer Harmon.
Yeah, Harmon.
And
Greenstein?
Greenstein. No, he's more of a color. He did come occasionally, but anyway. So I sat down, and the 5 of them gave me this weird look. Can I play? I asked them, "Is everything all right? Can I play? Do you know the game?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I can play all right. Which ones do you want to play?" And they showed me all the games, and there was 1 or 2 games which I didn't play well. And they said, "No, you got to play all of them. You can't walk." I said, "Okay. Is there any other rules?" "Oh yeah, you got to do this. You got to do that." Okay, let's go. And virtually from day one, I had on the cash games, I beat the 5 or 6 of them for 3 or 4 years. And from playing those guys who are full-on pros and legends of the poker world, I actually, when I played tournaments, all what I learned from those cash games flowed into my tournaments and had incredible results. Incredible results.
I know.
In the WSOP. And any tournament I played, I mean, just phenomenal. I'd make final tables. The fields were big too. Had an enormous run from, let's say, 2004 to 2010. And that was mainly because when I was playing cash games, I was playing the best players in the world, and I fine-tuned my game. Between 2004 and 2010, I think I won most of my money in tournaments.
Yeah, that's 2009 is when I met you.
2009 was
That's
my
when
big
I
year.
met you, and you had that lucky hat. Tell them the story about the hat. Let everybody know about that. About how you met me.
Oh, yeah.
It's been many years ago, but let them know.
Oh, yeah. So, I saw Clyde in the audience, and he'd be sweating me. And I had incredible luck while he was in the audience. And normally I'd just look out every time I made a final table. And I'd see Clyde there, and eventually we became good friends.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned the hat. I had the hat, and I was kind of like wearing it, on some occasions. And Clyde said, "You got to get your hat. Every time you got the hat, you win a tournament." And then I started thinking, I said, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Go get the hat." So I go get the hat, and I win another tournament. But Clyde's a great man of poker. He's an honest little dude. And I was happy to have him around me.
I done checked the stats. From the 6th to the 20th, you won 3 bracelets at the 2009 WSOP, bud. You won 3 of them.
That was an amazing story.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty religious. I'm a Christian, but...
So am I, Bob. So am I.
So I walked down the aisle of the Rio, and before I played my first event. And the second, I'd just been knocked out of a final table in 2009, the first event. It was a $10,000 seven-card stud. And I'm walking down the laneway in the Rio, about to go into the main room. And one guy comes up to me, he says, "Jeff, you don't know me. I've got a lot of problems. I need some money for an operation. I've got cancer." And
Wow.
I'm like, "Oh, God, I wish I could do something for him. What can I do?" And he mentioned a number which he needed urgently. I said, you know what? I'm about to play a tournament. If I win this tournament, you got it. You got the money.
Wow. You never told me this story before, buddy.
So I walk a little further up just before I get into the Amazon room. What's the main room? The Amazon room. And another guy says, Jeff, I'm doing really bad. It's got some problems. If you do any good in a tournament this year, could you help me out? I said, yeah. So I'm there. I start playing the tournament, and come the end of the night, I'm like chip leader. There's about 40 people left in the tournament, I think. And I see these characters in the crowd, and they're cheering me on. And I say, I hope I win it so I can give them something. Because virtually, just getting in the money wasn't going to do it. So I never prayed to win a poker tournament, because I believe your prayer should be if someone is sick, or you should never pray to win a poker tournament. But subconsciously, I went home after that, and I said, Lord, I hope I win this tournament so I can help those people that needed me to win. When the final table came, I see them all in the audience.
Wow.
And
God.
I had an incredible run on the final table. Virtually no one even called me. I just won all the chips without people calling me. And I ended up winning the tournament, and I helped these people out. And that was the first time I ever prayed to win a tournament.
Wow.
But the next two tournaments, I won them as well.
That's something else.
It's an incredible story.
That same year, Jeff, I don't know if you remember. I remember well. You got a second too.
Yeah,
you had a second place, and you had another final tier where you got ninth, I think. You didn't just have 3 wins. You were running good.
I was running good. And we also had a side bet. Me and Barry Greenstein against Daniel Negreanu. And who was the other Phil Tilt guy?
Phil Tilt.
He was player of the year before me.
It's God, he's Lindgren. Was it
Lindgren?
Lindgren,
That's right. Yeah. So Barry said, Jeff, we can beat these two guys. And we're up against Daniel and the previous player of the year. And I said,
Eric Lindgren.
I said, it's not going to be easy, Barry. I didn't plan on playing so many tournaments. I never do. I'm not going flat out. He said, well, I'll bet them on the side, and you play as much as you can. I said, all right. So we actually ran over them. It was all over. It was all over before the main event, and I'm playing the main event, and behind me, Daniel was playing the main event, and the film crew go up to Daniel, and they said, Daniel, how's your side bet going with Jeffery Lisandro and Barry Greenstein? And he went, even if him and Eric came 1-2 in the main, the way the points were,
they couldn't get you?
They couldn't win.
Okay.
So, but rather than say that during the interview, I heard him humming and hawing, and I said, you can still win, Daniel. And the film crew looked at me. Can he still win? I said, yeah. If him and Lindgren come first, second, and third.
First, second, and third?
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. He even laughed on the end, Daniel, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great time. Great time. And then the previous year, 2008, I think I came a couple of seconds. In 2007, I won my first bracelet.
Yeah.
And 2005, I played my first WSOP ring event in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, okay.
And I played great that year. And I won it. I had to beat the best of the best. I finished heads up against Phil Ivies.
Wow.
He had 6 times more chips than me. And somehow after 3 hours, I grinded him down and ended up winning the tournament. Wow. So I think, and then 2004, I played, I won a couple of tournaments. I won a $50,000, I think it was, limit hold'em, and I had to beat Howard Lederer. So yeah, my heyday was probably 2004 to 2010. 2010, I won a bracelet in Europe, and I played a EPT. I made a final table in Barcelona, and yeah, that was my time. Probably up to about 2010.
You still enjoy playing poker? I mean,
I find the hours too long. I find 12 hours of poker in a day too much at the moment.
Wow.
So it's just me. I just know come after 10 hours my concentration and how much I enjoy playing poker, but I just don't enjoy it more than 10 hours in a day. So
that's why I haven't seen you so much.
That's why I just don't play the tournaments so much.
That's why I kept looking for you. I kept thinking, where's my buddy Jeff? Every 7-card stud I got in, like, I don't see Jeff. Where's Jeff at?
Yeah, I only played 3 tournaments this year.
Yeah,
I didn't even play the main. This is the first year. I just didn't want to play the main. I'm thinking about doing a bit more next year. I got to feel good. If I feel good, I'll probably try a few more tournaments.
Well, I survived quadruple heart surgery, and I'm a lot stronger now. It's been a slow process. But I think I'm getting to the point where I could play that again. I really think I can. I mean, I eat better now by far. I mean, look, you see how trim I'm getting here? Look at this, for real. This was out to here. I'm eating better. Rest is very important. I'm still working full time at Aria, so I need rest. And you've seen me deal. I use a lot of energy. I go quick and fast the whole time. So, by the end of the night, I'm tired now. But I deal with it, and I make it look. I say to myself, if you keep pushing yourself, you'll get back to where you were. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm trying like hell to get to where eventually, if I work hard all day, I won't get tired. But that hasn't been the case. I'm exhausted. I can't even go home and look at the computer, and I'm doing the nodding thing. So I
lost a bit of weight.
I just love poker. I mean, love everything. In the last couple of years, has just turned everything around. You know how you were talking about how you played in the room with Doyle and all them? Well, I get a deal with them same players in the Poker Go studio. And while I'm dealing with them, I'm picking up stuffs, bet sizing and everything that they're doing to improve my game. And it's improved my game.
Absolutely.
So I think I could play against anybody now.
Right.
And I know I'm right. It usually is a horrible beat to knock me out of a tournament. I ain't saying I don't make no mistakes, but to make the critical mistake, I'm just getting bad beated. But my day's coming. And, they don't know. Hey, listen, I've known this guy since 2009. He's like a gentle giant. And you've backed me, many a time.
I did. I like to.
He goes, Clyde, whatever you get in, no matter what it is, you wanted 10%. That's even the main event, which is 10 grand. In 2017, we both cashed in it side by side at the table. He went a little bit further than I did. That's because I got $3, but that's beside the point. But we had fun that time. We were like, how you doing over there, Clyde? How you doing, Jeff?
A great motivation. You need that during these 5 days events.
Well,
It's 12 days, but
I think I motivated you there.
You did.
I really did.
Well, you did. I need motivation. I need someone to hang around me. If I got someone cheering on the sideline, I play different. If I gave my A game in a tournament, I can produce wonders. But I need that. I need the audience.
Well, I gave you the audience for years. I think
you did.
I railed you for a long time until I was able to financially play. When I first met you, I actually met you right before I started working, I think, in Samstown.
I even went to Samstown to see you.
Yeah. You even came there to see me and played a couple times.
Yes. I do that.
Yeah, it's pretty. Hey, listen, you got your book here. Why don't you let everybody know about your book here? Jeff also writes books about his life and stuff. Let all the fans out there know.
Yeah, I got my book. Here? It's called Playing Poker Against the Mob. I wrote it during COVID. Had nothing to do. I couldn't play cards anywhere. I was in Australia. Book turned out great. Great reading. Everyone, no one was disappointed. They always want to know when the second part of the book was coming out. Very interesting. It was my first experience when I went to Moscow in the early 90s. I went there and I set up a poker game. People said I was crazy, but financially it worked out really well for me. And then I came back a couple of years later and I set up a poker room in one of the casinos, and I did really well for 5 years in Moscow. So that's virtually what the story's about, the characters and the scenarios I was in. It was very, very difficult, but I prevailed. Yeah.
I've got the book and I read it. What stories are in that book is wow.
Pretty wild stories.
No wonder it's called Playing Against the Mob. I've read it.
It started off in my early days. I was born in Perth, which is on the west side of Australia. And then my dad suggested when I was 16, 17 years old to go up into the outback and do some exploration drilling. So I went to all these crazy places. The towns had 100 people and the next town was 400, 500 miles away. If you could imagine a place, 3 times the size of Texas and only 200,000 people in the early 80s. So I went out to these outback towns and I was working, and I said, "Dad, I love it. It was really good money. Well, I was highly paid, but I said it's not the life for me. I need people around." I said, "I can't do this for the rest of my life. I'm going to go to Sydney, and I'm going to start playing poker." I heard that there's a few guys there making a lot of money playing poker in Sydney, and he thought that was a crazy idea. But I did it, and by the time I was 21, I was running my own poker rooms and ran into a lot of obstacles, but highly successful. And that led, one of my customers led me to Russia when the Iron Curtain came down in the late 80s, early 90s. I was in Moscow trying to get poker games started. There's a lot of people to learn, and they had an awful lot of money. In part 2 of that book, I didn't realize one of my customers was one of the top 10 richest people in the world.
Wow.
And I never heard of him, but he was playing on my table, and he loved poker. So we became really good friends. And he followed me around. He loved poker. I actually saw him in Paris when I was young. His name was Badri, And I saw him in Paris playing astronomical stakes. It was nothing for him to play roulette and lose $5 million in a day.
Wow.
And he would do it quite often. So when he started playing poker, it was the love of poker that got him in. He just loved poker.
Yeah.
And even it wasn't really high. I was running a game where you could lose probably 100,000 a day at the most. But it was just the atmosphere. He just loved poker games. And yeah.
Where's the second part of the book coming
Second
out?
part of the book.
Are you writing it now?
I've written it already, but I haven't published it. I'm trying to get a movie made from the first part. So I really wanted someone to come up with the movie script. I wrote a movie script, by the way. I have a script I did myself.
Wow.
But I want the movie made first, and then I'd publish the second book. The first book's going great. As soon as someone reads it,
I know it. I got one. I read it, and
wow!
No wonder you got the name of it, Against the Mob, because you was actually against the mob.
Right, I was.
My God, your life was at stake, right? It's a couple of those.
Life was at stake all the time.
It's been about a year since I read it now, but there's one part in that book where I thought, "Oh my God, you're kidding me." My Lord, I'd be scared to death. I want him to read the book. I don't want to give it all away, but anytime somebody pulls a gun on you, Jesus Christ.
I found those tough guys. If you play enough poker with them, and you're on the up and up with them, and you're just providing entertainment, they actually like you. They get to like you. They become friends. And they can become loyal friends. And a lot of them became friends. I think if you do the right thing, you can never find enemies.
Yeah.
So, there's always a lot of jealousy in the poker world. You can be, when you're doing well, people don't like you. People want to penalize you. I had people say, "No, I'm not playing with him on the table. He's 3 bracelet winners." But you got to deal with that.
No, I don't yet. Not yet. I got to win 3 bracelets first.
You got to deal with that. Probably winning those poker tournaments didn't help my poker career that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Hasn't anyone ever wanted to sponsor you since you won all those?
You know what? I'm very cautious when it comes to sponsoring, because I have this thing in my mind that poker is not for everyone. As much as poker is a game of skill, it's still gambling, and some people get hurt by it.
Yeah.
So I don't really like to promote it to people who I don't think can win.
Oh, okay.
If I think they can win and they can make a profit from it, I might help them or teach them. But if I don't think, as poker being a thing of enjoyment, it doesn't suit everyone.
Hey, which tournament have you won that you're most proud of, Jeff? You've won many.
Oh, definitely. The tournament I liked the most was beating Phil Ivy's
Phil Ivy
in Lake Tahoe.
And Lake Tahoe.
And I'm an all round poker player. I'm not really I wasn't really a specialist no limit hold'em player. Although there was a time that they were the only tournaments I played. So in the mid-90s, I think I played going around Europe, Slovenia, London, and Ireland, and Holland. I started playing a lot of poker tournaments. No limit. And I started to get really good at them. And I think I won about 5 or 6 that year.
Wow.
But I never got any. I never got Hendon Mob to recognition for them, or
Oh yeah.
I didn't get a write up about them. I think they misspelled my name, so I never got any credit in my. But it was a phenomenal effort. I would win like 1 in 3 tournaments I played.
Wow.
And they were very good players. I think I went to Ireland one year, and they had 4 tournaments, and I won the first 3.
Damn.
And I came second in the 4th.
Wow.
And they were great players. I think that was the time.
Oh, that one.
The Irish
You're
guy
talking
won
about
it.
beating Ivy, man. My God, he's the top dog.
Yeah, well,
No wonder that's your favorite one.
Oh yeah, they were surprised. That wasn't meant to happen that time. I think Full Tilt was doing the filming, and they had it all wrapped up. Phil was going to win, and I put on a performance. I think we played the longest heads-up tournament of all time.
Wow.
It was 3 or 4 hours at the time. They've been longer since, but it came down to one stage in that tournament. Right at the beginning when the final table started, me and Phil were chip leaders. I made a big lay down, and I lost. I laid down. By all rights, I should have gone all in, the way they teach you today anyway. But anyway, I kept my last few chips, and I went from second in chips to like 6th in chips, just staying in the tournament. And then Phil proceeded to bust every other player. And then I won a pot, and we were heads up, but he had 6 times more chips than me.
6,000?
We were heads up. He had 6 times.
6 times
the chips I had. And we proceeded in playing the final heads up. And I played a lot of heads up with Phil.
Was it No Limit Hold'em?
Yeah, No Limit Hold'em. Lake Tahoe circuit event.
Okay.
And I played a lot of heads up with Phil, and in Bobby's room. And I actually picked up a tell on him. He had this tell, which I don't play with him I haven't played with him for quite a few years. But he had this tell when he was bluffing. It's quite intimidating. He'd move his hands like this, stare you in the eye, and goes, "I'm all in." And he'd get you to lay down your hand, unless you had a big hand. But most of the time, I'd lay down. So we were playing for 3.5 hours heads up, and finally, I get the chip lead by just a few chips. I was so close, but I had the chip lead. And I said, now, I noticed Phil's complexion changed completely. And I looked at him, and I said, he's going to make a play soon in the next 2 or 3 hands. And he's going to try and get back the chip lead. He's not comfortable with me having the chip lead. And then there was one hand. I was the big blind. He min-raised on the button. And I had Jack 10 offsuit. And I called. There was a small min-raise. And I figured he didn't have a big hand. So I was confident Jack 10 was probably was the favourite in the hand. And the board comes 2-4-5. And I think he's hit one of his pairs. I don't think he's got the straight. Anyway, so I checked. I was first to play. And he bet he fired a small bet in. And I looked at it. I said, I've got the board's 2, 4, 5. I shouldn't play with the Jack 10, but I'm going to call because if I hit my Jack or 10, I'm going to make out that I've got one of those small pairs, and I'll play it from there. So I called. On the turn came the 10.
Okay.
So I didn't bet him. I checked, which you don't play these days you wouldn't play that way, but I did. I checked the 10, and then he looked and thought, and I still think that he had a small pair, and then he had an average size bet, and of course I've got the 10. Now I want him to think that I've got a 2, or I've got the 3 in my hand, trying to get the straight. So I've got the 10, but I was taking my time calling so that he doesn't think I've got the 10. I was kind of like trapping him. And I thought, I looked at him, I said, okay, call. It was an easy call, but I didn't want him to know what I had.
Yeah, you made it look like it was tough, yeah.
I made it look like it was tough. And on the river came the queen. And I knew that the queen wasn't going to do him any good. The queen was a good card for me because that wasn't his range. And I checked, and there was quite a few chips in the pot at this stage, probably about 20% of the chips, 10, because we've been playing so long, so the andes and blinds were going so big. And then he did his tell, and I knew that the queen didn't help him. So he did his hand movement like this, and he looked me in the eye, and I said, okay, he's got nothing. And he said, I'm all in, like putting pressure on me to make a decision or fold my hand.
Yeah.
I said, I've only got a pair of 10s, but I said, I'm pretty confident that's the best hand. And I said, okay, I call. And he turned over to a pair of 2s with a 9 kicker.
Ooh.
And I took down the pot.
That was a big pot.
That was it. I won.
Did that crush him or won the tournament?
I won the tournament with that one. But
Wow.
it was one of those calls where I was confident I had to. If I played it that way, I was going to trap him, and I knew the 10 was the best hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story. Hey, what's your favorite game to play? Is it still stud?
No, my favorite game is I really like the challenging part of poker. 'Cause I like mixed games.
So do I.
I love
I love
games,
Deuce to 7.
8 different games.
Do you like Deuce to 7?
I like them all. I like the Drama Ha. I like these new games that come out. Too. Drama Ha, high low, and Drama Ha high.
I do too.
And I came this year, and they started playing their Archie with the community cards.
Yeah.
Ari, they call it. And I found that game interesting. There's a certain amount of skill in it. You've got to have a little bit of control. You can't play too many hands like any poker game, but I enjoy them.
I love every game.
Puts me a bit challenging on my mind.
You know, I've come a long way. I took it serious. I study hard all the time. And it helps where I work. Honest to God, Jeff, you're a good player. If you're sitting at the table with all these other good players, I learn from you guys. I watch your betting sides. I watch a lot of them can only play certain positions, believe it or not, where the button is. Some of them, for example, this happens a lot in Poker Go. If somebody takes a beat at one of the tables, they all jump on board. So every time he enters a pot, they'll re-raise him. They'll put him at risk in his stack. That's what they do. And that's what pros do. That's one of the many things I've caught on they do. You know, if one of them takes a hit and they know, okay, he's on tilt now, even though it doesn't look like he's on tilt, that's what they do.
Well,
They'll jump on them.
Well, that's what pros have always done.
Yeah,
So,
well, I see it all the time.
So what the pros do is you miss the board, they miss the board.
Yeah.
That's a pot they want to take down.
Here's another thing.
They're going to have a betting strategy to win that pot.
You'd be amazed at how different people play now than did years ago.
Oh, yeah.
For example, it truly is hard to bluff more unless you overbet and you put them on a complete decision for their stack because everyone don't believe you've hit the board, hit a pair. I've seen people make calls even in our daily or Aria tournament. It's a $200 buy-in, but people make a call with ace high because they think that they're bluffing, that they don't have anything. And sometimes they are. But that's why it's so hard to bluff, I think, nowadays. They just don't believe you got it. You know?
The game changes all the time. So
it
now
is.
I was analyzing.
Yeah.
I've been doing good at No Limit Hold'em, but to be honest, lower stakes.
That used to be the game you used to hate. Am I correct?
Yeah.
But
now in Australia, that I've got no choice. So I play a lot of No Limit Hold'em. And I've had incredible, consistent results. Just knowing the people I play with. One of my strengths on poker, which isn't a tournament strength, if I keep playing with the same 6 people all the time,
yeah,
I'll eventually make the adjustments I need. I can adjust to beat them, regardless of who they are. That's a poker talent. So, you get taught all those strategies on No Limit Hold'em. What are they?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
they're using whatever they're using, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good consistent strategy, like the wizards or whatever they are.
Yeah, that wizard thing.
But if you're still an old type of player,
yeah,
and you can nearly go back to the basics now.
It gets down to the read. Yeah, I think
it gets down.
I've been trying to teach my son the numbers. Okay, he plays sometimes. He always just plays with the feel, but and my son, it helps you a little bit if you add the numbers in there too, because you got to figure what if this guy makes a bet and you're going to call. He has to have a certain hand to make that call, and if he does make that call, now you can kind of put him on a range and what he needs. You're just hoping that he don't have it, son. That's if you want to go and win more at a higher level. You're going to have to use everything combined, but I'm old-fashioned like you. I like to read. I like to read people.
I mix my game up, so occasionally I just way overbet the pot, and I'll have, a little suited connector, and sometimes I'll have aces overbetting the pot.
Yeah.
And people say, well, he hasn't got aces because why would he do that? And then they see that, and the next day you work from that. If you're playing the same people all the time.
Mm-hmm. So, at my work too, a lot of PLO players, more and more players are playing PLO. And the pots get big. The pots get big in that game. I'll live in Omaha. But listen, the time's been great here. I'm going to have to shut this down here real soon. Dude, I miss you. I enjoy when I get to see you. There's that smile I'm talking about. And one of your photos that's inside the WSOP, you're smiling real big where you want a bracelet. That's the smile you're doing right now. But listen, Jeff, anytime you want to come on, wonderful. Great. See, I want you to play more poker next year.
I'm going to try.
You said something about getting you a manager. I'll find you one if you need one. You need a good one that'll take care of you and drive you around. I'll find you one.
I need a little helper.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I'm planning on playing more poker tournaments, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you too, Clyde.
Always is.
You're one of the guys I met a long time, and you're just a dealer at the time, but you are so accommodating, and I can't even tell you my bad beats, which I don't do.
I remember some of them how you used to act. I try to cheer you up too. You get him next time. You'll get him. Well, listen, everyone. I want to thank you all for watching the podcast today. Jeffery Lisandro on here today.
God bless everyone, too.
Yes. God bless everybody. May God be with you. And thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Bye.